Welcome to the Motormouth YouTube channel. I'm Zach.
I'm Andrea.
And this is our top 5 non-luxury subcompact SUV list. And the thing is, we have something interesting coming up. Andrew and I couldn't decide on number 5.
No. Now, we do it all in alphabetical order, but we couldn't decide
on one of them. All right.
So we each had to go our own way.
So that's coming. That'll be towards the end. So see what Andrea likes and what I like and the reasons for that.
Yep.
And we also have what after our top 5?
We do some honorable mentions, some that didn't make the top 5 list, but still worth mentioning.
Okay, so we don't go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We list our top 5 and the attributes and negatives of each, because what might be right for one family is not right for another. So that's how we do it. So let's get into it.
Up first in alphabetical order is the Honda HR-V. It has one powertrain option.
So if this was a year ago, we were really heavy on Honda for the pricing they had made for the HR-V and a lot of their other vehicles. Yeah. They put the prices way up. But you know what? A year has passed, Andrea, and the rest of the market has caught up to them. So they were kind of first out of the gate with very high prices, and everybody seems to have caught up. But this is a good all-rounder.
And I just want to clarify, in Canada particularly, the prices were quite high. But as Zach mentioned, it's all kind of worked out in the end. Of course, the Honda HR-V, some pros. It's spacious. It's 9 inches longer and 3 inches wider than the previous model. So you've got a big subcompact vehicle. It's comfortable, I would say. It's got updated technology, but it is missing some features.
Yeah, it doesn't have in the back seat an armrest or cup holders. We found that very odd. And another negative is it uses the Honda Civic platform. The previous version was on the Honda Fit platform. So as Andrew mentioned, it got bigger. It's gone one class bigger on the Civic platform. And it uses the Civic's base engine, the 2-liter, which is bulletproof, by the way. It's a great engine. We have a Honda Civic with this engine, no problem. But in this application, it's a little pokey.
It's pokey. In the city, if you're just running errands, going from A to B, it's no problem. You'll actually find that the power is sufficient. It's when you get on the highway and it's the passing power that it's a little bit slow. You're going to have to pack a lunch to make a move. But it does a lot well overall. J.D. Power gives it a great reliability score of 82 out of 100. I was a little bit disappointed with the fuel economy on this model, and also that there's no hybrid option, but I hope one will come from Honda.
Okay, so we mentioned it's on the Civic platform. It has the Civic interior, which was a standout when the Civic arrived, and they've used it through many vehicles, and it works perfectly well in this product. So that's the HR-V. Now let's get into the specs.
The HR-V has a 2-liter 4-cylinder matched to a CVT, 158 horsepower and 138 pound-feet of torque. Front-wheel drive and all-wheel drive options are available.
Here's the price range in Canada. We'll get to the US in just a second. The base front-wheel drive model starts at just over $31,000, and the most expensive EXL with navigation is $40,000. In the United States, the base model is $24,000, and the most expensive EXL is $27,500. Here's the fuel economy: 9.4 liters per 100 kilometers in the city, 7.8 on the highway. That's 25 miles per gallon city, 30 miles per gallon highway.
Up next is the Kia Seltos with 2 powertrain options, and I would say that this is a class leader for value and features. It has features that many of the subcompact vehicles just don't have, like power front seats, driver's seat memory, ventilated front seats, heated rear seats, and a power tailgate.
Yeah, these are all things you kind of get in the compact class, but in the subcompact class, a lot of these vehicles just don't offer those features. And when you add in what they're charging for this compared to other vehicles, it really is the value leader. And it's one of the biggest in this class. So it could be our overall #1 pick, but that's not what we do here. We let you decide what you like and you don't like. Now on the negative, some people just don't like the look of it. Yeah. It's not I wouldn't say it's the best looking in this class, but you might be excited about the design when you know what you get and what you pay for it.
I really like the turbocharged engine. It has plenty of power. The base engine is a little bit slow on the highway. It doesn't offer that great power, obviously, that the turbocharged engine has. And it's wired Apple CarPlay and Android Auto in the Seltos. No wireless at this time for Kia, but we hear these new models will be getting it. JD Power actually gives the Kia Seltos a great reliability score of 82 out of 100.
Okay, so the base engine comes with a continuously variable transmission, and then the turbo comes with a new 8-speed. They got rid of the dual clutch and went to an 8-speed. So let's go through all the specs.
The base engine is a 2-liter 4-cylinder matched to a CVT, 147 horsepower and 132 pound-feet of torque. Front-wheel drive and all-wheel drive options are available. There's also the 1.6-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder with an 8-speed automatic transmission, 195 horsepower and 195 pound-feet of torque. This is an all-wheel drive model.
We'll go through the U.S. pricing in just a moment. Here's the price spread for Canada. The base model starts at $27,500 and goes on the X-Line 1.6T to almost $41,000. In the United States, the base model starts at just over $24,000 and the most expensive model is just under $30,000. For the base 2-liter, the fuel economy is 8.8 liters per 100 kilometers in the city, 7.5 on the highway. That's 27 miles per gallon city, 31 miles per gallon highway. The turbocharged engine gets 9.4 liters per 100 kilometers in the city, 8.7 on the highway. That's 25 miles per gallon city, 27 miles per gallon highway.
I just want to add before moving on to the next vehicle that Kia offers a warranty of 5 years, which is more than many of the competitors, except for, of course, Hyundai. They offer 5 years as well. Up next in alphabetical order is the Subaru Crosstrek. It offers 2 powertrains.
And it's brand new for this year. The design of it, you wouldn't know it's all new, but it has been improved platform. They made it stiffer. They improved the dash. They put in the larger screen on most trims. Of course, Subaru comes standard with their all-wheel drive system and great ground clearance. And this is really a good Swiss Army knife. It does everything well.
Yeah, and I think the ground clearance and that all-wheel drive system is a big deal for some people purchasing Subaru vehicles. The Crosstrek gets 8.7 inches of ground clearance, and of course that wilderness model gets more. So it's a terrific vehicle that's spacious. Subaru really worked on the comfort level of the seats, and we found that they are more comfortable in this new model. Now, one thing that it is missing is a power tailgate. We did speak to Subaru about that, and they have no plans to bring one in.
Well, you know what? Most vehicles in this class don't have a power liftgate. There's a few outliers there, and we've already highlighted one. So you know what? This is a nice, compelling package, and it's surprising because it has a 4-cylinder and a CVT, or continuously variable transmission. They can usually be a little bit drony, but the surprising thing with the Crosstrek, it's one of the quietest vehicles in this class.
Yeah, it does a great job with insulating the cabin, and Subaru actually improved on that once again and with this new model. And of course, for this new model, the manual transmission is gone and the plug-in hybrid is also gone. I think that is a shame because people are looking for an electrified option in this category. JD Power gives the Crosstrek a score of 80 out of 100.
All right, let's get into all the specs.
The base engine is a 2-liter 4-cylinder matched to a CVT, 152 horsepower and 145 pound-feet of torque. The second option is a more powerful 2.5-liter 4-cylinder, 182 horsepower and 178 pound-feet of torque, standard all-wheel drive.
Here's the price range for the Crosstrek, the US, in just a second. It starts at $31,700 in Canada and goes to $40,700 for the top trim. The base model in the United States is just over $25,000, and the most expensive model is just over $32,000. Here's the fuel economy for the base 2-liter, 8.5 liters per 100 kilometers in the city, and 7 liters on the highway. That's 27 miles per gallon city, 34 miles per gallon highway. The 2.5-liter is 8.8 liters per 100 kilometers in the city, 7 on the highway. That's 26 miles per gallon city, 33 miles per gallon highway.
Up next is the Toyota Corolla Cross with 2 powertrain options.
So we do have the honorable mentions coming up in just a second, and then we have a tie for our 5th place vehicle. So this Corolla Cross is going to be hard to beat if you want a fuel economy champion, because one of the 2 powertrains is Toyota's hybrid system. It delivers great fuel economy in a package that is going to appeal to a lot of people.
And Toyota is the only one, except for Kia with the Niro, that's offering a hybrid option in this subcompact class. It's spacious. It offers some good rear seat legroom and cargo space. It's got all the updated technology in it. Of course, it doesn't have the features that something like the Seltos has, but it does offer a power tailgate, which is good.
All right, the inside is a bit bland, but you're not buying this vehicle for its aesthetics, really. You're buying it because brand appeal. It's a Toyota. It's the hybrid system. And unlike the Kia Niro, which is also a hybrid, this has more power, a lot more power, and it's an all-wheel drive system, meaning you get the rear wheels powered by a small electric motor, and the Kia doesn't offer that. So if you want all-wheel drive, a hybrid, and a subcompact, this is the only one.
Yeah, and you'll be surprised to hear as well that the hybrid top trim actually comes in under some of these gas model top trims of other brands. So I think that that's offering a lot of value for a hybrid vehicle. JD Power gives the Corolla Cross a score of 82 out of 100. There is one negative that I feel with the gas model is that when you're on the highway, that cabin does get louder. And I wouldn't say it's quick with the passing either. But the hybrid is quite a great option. We did find the steering on the hybrid to be a little bit vague.
Okay, pro tip. If you're going to go into the dealer, just get the hybrid. You'll thank us after. All right, let's get into the specs.
The gas model has a 2-liter 4-cylinder engine matched to a CVT, 169 horsepower and 150 pound-feet of torque. Front-wheel drive and all-wheel drive options are available. A hybrid with a 2-liter 4-cylinder is matched to an eCVT. It gets a combined 195 horsepower and it's standard all-wheel drive.
Here's the price range in Canada. We'll do the US in a second. The gas model starts at just over $30,000 and goes to $38,500. The hybrid starts at $37,000 and goes to just under $40,000. In the United States, the gas model starts at $23,500 and goes to $29,000. The hybrid at just under $28,000 up to $31,000. Here's the fuel economy for the base gas engine, 8.1 liters per 100 kilometers in the city, 7.4 on the highway. That's 29 miles per gallon city, 32 miles per gallon highway. The hybrid is rated at 5.2 liters per 100 kilometers in the city, 6.2 on the highway. That's 45 miles per gallon in the city, 38 miles per gallon highway.
Now we've moved our final picks out of alphabetical order because we couldn't decide on that last pick in our top 5. Zach, what did you go for?
Well, we're going to do rock, paper, scissors, see who goes first.
Okay, that's fine by me.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, shoot. Okay, you go first.
Okay, so I could not leave this one off. Although
I could.
Zach could. Although I like Zach's pick a lot, it wasn't enough for me to miss the one that I love the most, the Mazda CX30. If you ask me, it is the heavy performer in this subcompact class. Whether you choose the non-turbo or the turbocharged engine, it is terrific, it's engaging, and it's fun to drive. A negative to this vehicle is the lack of rear headroom and cargo space as well as rear legroom. But this is how I look at it. It's a subcompact vehicle. Can we not have fun in the subcompact class still? If you need a bigger one, go for the CX5 and move up to the compact.
Back seat's too small. Cargo area is too small. Turbocharged engine is out of step with the industry. Everybody's going to hybrids and fuel efficient. They get a turbo that is way too expensive for what you get. And it doesn't have independent rear suspension. That's 5 for me.
No, disagree.
All right. All right. Do you want to hear mine?
Yeah.
Okay. Sure. And this is going to be controversial as well. There's going to be a lot of haters. I can feel the keyboards clicking away right now. The Chevrolet Trax. And the number one reason why I chose the Chevrolet Trax is because of value. In Canada, the Trax, the most expensive model, including freight, is $31,000. The most expensive model in the United States is 24 grand.
Yeah.
Like, just think about that. It's a real value play. It's got lots of room. It actually performs and handles well. And I just think that it's got some great things about it. Negatives, Andrea? only front-wheel drive. And a lot of people don't like the fact that it's got a turbo 3-cylinder engine.
Well, the worry is how reliable is this turbo engine? It's new. I can tell you that the previous model got a great reliability score of 83 out of 100 from JD Power, but this is new. And there have been some complaints about this model. There are some glitches with the infotainment system. Some of the gear changing has been a problem. But I have to say with Zach, this is offering incredible value at a time where people are having a tough time putting food on their table. So I applaud Chevrolet for coming out with a vehicle that is affordable, and it is spacious, and it comes standard with some great technology including wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto.
You're coming to my camp.
No, but if I could have them both on the list, I would be happy, but I cannot go with the Chevrolet Trax over my Mazda CX30.
It's pocketbook issue time. Everybody's complaining about the economy. Pocketbook trumps your turbo CX30.
I want to have some fun. One thing for me, when I get into a vehicle, the vehicle that I buy has got to have some fun factor to it. I want to put a smile on my face, and Mazda delivers that for me.
I'd smile every time I look at my bank balance. All right, let's get into the specs of these two.
The Trax has one powertrain option. It's a 1.2-liter turbocharged 3-cylinder with a 6-speed automatic transmission, 137 horsepower, and 162 pound-feet of torque, front-wheel drive only.
We'll do the incredible U.S. pricing in just a moment. Right now, the stellar Canadian pricing. It starts at $24,500, and the most expensive Trax is $31,000. In the United States, it starts at $20,500 and only goes to just under $24,000. The fuel economy is 8.3 liters per 100 kilometers in the city, 7.4 on the highway. That's 28 miles per gallon city, 32 miles per gallon highway.
Let's get into the terrific CX30, two powertrain options, a non-turbo and a turbocharged 2.5-liter 4-cylinder. Both match to a 6-speed automatic transmission. The non-turbo model has 191 horsepower and 186 pound-feet of torque. The powerful 2.5-liter T has 227 horsepower and 310 pound-feet of torque on regular fuel. You get a bit of a bump in power if you use premium, 250 horsepower and 320 pound-feet of torque.
U.S. pricing in a moment. In Canada, the base model of the CX30 is almost $31,000, and the most expensive turbo model is $43,000. In the United States, the base model is just under $25,000, and the most expensive model is just under $37,000. Here's the fuel economy for the base engine. 9.9 liters per 100 kilometers in the city, 7.7 on the highway. That's 24 miles per gallon city, 31 miles per gallon highway. For the turbo, it's 10.5 liters per 100 kilometers in the city, 7.9 on the highway. That's 22 miles per gallon in the city, 30 on the highway. Well, there it is, Andrea, 5 and a bonus.
A real bonus.
I can hear the keyboards clacking away right now, or on your phone. Are you Camp Andrea? You Camp Zach? Which is it? Is it price or power? All right, so that's our top 5 subcompacts. Now we get into what, Andrea?
Our honorable mentions. First up is the Hyundai Kona with 3 powertrain options, a non-turbo, a turbo gas model, as well as a pure EV. The Kona is all new with updated technology and nicer interior design. It's bigger than the outgoing model, but it lacks some features compared to some of its competitors like the Seltos.
So this is the cousin to the Kia Seltos, which didn't make the top 5. Why didn't the Kona make the top 5? And the Kona is available with an EV. We haven't driven that one yet, unfortunately. It just comes down to the feature list and the pricing. Kia really adds more features in their product versus Hyundai, and their price is less. So that makes the list, and the Kona, not so much.
I also thought that the Kona, because it got bigger and it no longer has the dual clutch transmission, it's just not as fun as I remember. But if you want something that's bigger and that's comfortable, the Kona is a great option. Our second honorable mention goes to the Kia Niro. The Niro has 3 electrified powertrain options: hybrid, plug-in hybrid, and a pure EV. It's priced well, it's spacious, comfortable, and it gets great fuel economy. Unfortunately, there's no all-wheel drive option, and the hybrid is underpowered.
So this has a lot going for it. It's big. When you get in the back seat, there's a surprising amount of space.
Yeah.
I like the kind of fun looking design. The interior is very logically laid out. So why is it in the list? Well, because there's no all-wheel drive option. But wait a second, you just chose the Chevy Trax, which doesn't have an all-wheel drive option. But did you check out the price of the Trax? That's why it made it on the list for me. This Niro, the base model is the hybrid, and it is a little bit underpowered compared to many of these others.
JD Power gives the Niro a reliability score of 76 out of 100.
That's
and I
low.
just want to mention 83 out of 100 for the previous model Kona. This new one obviously hasn't been rated yet. And our final honorable mention goes to the Volkswagen Taos, which is quite unique in its own way. It's got a great dual clutch transmission, it's spacious, and it's quite fun to drive for this subcompact class.
So the vehicles that have the optional engines with more power, so there'd be the Seltos, the Kona, and the Mazda CX30, Volkswagen gives you a turbo 1.5 liter with a dual clutch transmission in every single Taos. It is quite engaging to drive. It's one of the biggest in this class. It is a big panel roof. I kind of like the design, and it's reminiscent of the old Golf. The dashboard anyway hasn't gone to that full digital dash they have in like GTI. They've kept the older dash in this new product, and I like that.
There's a fair amount of plastic in the Taos, and I just want to point out that the front-wheel drive model doesn't get a dual clutch transmission. It's an automatic transmission, but all-wheel drive models do get it. JD Power gives the Taos a reliability score of 77 out of 100.
So there's our list. There's our honorable mentions. I'd love to hear your order. Which one would you choose and why? That's why we don't do them 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, because for one person might be all about the power, and then there's all about the thriftiness over here.
Gosh, he's really playing it up, isn't he? A little too much, I might add.
No, there's not enough.
But
you can't lay it on too thick, Andrea.
We've got more top 5s coming your way. Make sure you subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you're notified when all of our videos drop.
All right,
Thanks for watching.
See you in the next one.